Welcome everyone to this week's YouTube live stream for the simpletradinglife.com. I'm Scott G. Sorry about the technical difficulty we had there. I don't know why the original stream would not connect, but we are connected now. Let me kind of get caught up here. That threw me for a loop. So let me just kind of catch up here. So hello. Okay, got your comments up here on my phone. We've got ES up on the screen. And give me 1 second here. Let me repost this link over to Twitter. Here is the new link for our simple trading life YouTube live stream. I had to delete the original one. Okay. Hey Grayson, good to see you. Glad you're here, my friend. And I think we should have everything up and running now. So hopefully we didn't cause too much confusion for everyone. So happy Friday to everyone, and let's go ahead and dive right in here. We will take a look at ES, kind of where we started. This is the 30-minute chart, where we've been today, which is not far, right? We've had a really kind of tight range. In fact, if I do this, okay, here's where we came from yesterday, right? Went up to the top of the expanding range. We flushed down, and we sort of got a little bounce right here. And then we started the new day with this candle right here, and immediately we flushed down to our 3014 support area, got a bounce, and then basically just went into a range right through here. Okay, up and down, up and down. Then we saw a little break below. We came back up almost to opening price level right there where the 20 SMA is. And we got this quick flush. It was quick. It was quick. Actually, I was able to get a quick scalp on the way down and a quick scalp on the way up, playing options with that. Now, I wish I would have been playing standard contracts because they would have paid a lot better. But I got a couple of winners there. And then we've just sort of been trailing off here. So if I come back over here, sort of expand the chart a little bit, okay, if we continue to trail off and then maybe see a flush, if we get below this level, there's a really good chance we get to the bottom of the expanding range. So let me show you on a higher time frame, maybe the hourly will do it. Let's see here. Yep, there we go. Okay, so here's the expanding range that we're in right now. If you see this, okay, so we came up through, hit the top, down to the bottom, off the bottom here, sort of a double bottom, all the way back through to the top, all the way back down through to the bottom, back to the top. Then we got a little chop in here, back to the top. This is where we were at yesterday. We rejected there, we sold off, we've been ranging, and now we're below where we were ranging, and we're just waiting to see, is this going to flush down? Okay, this is our first obstacle. In fact, let me spread it out. We'll go back to the 30-minute or some other time frames here in a minute. Oh, now we're going to the upside. Okay, we'll see, is that a news event? Is that just trying to get people out of the way before a flush lower? See that quick spike? Okay, something volatile is happening right now. Not sure what it is. We're just going to watch this for a second. We'll just stay right here for now. You see that we had that big, quick, volatile spike up, came back down, come back up. So we're just going to watch it for a second, see what's going on. Could be some sort of news event, you know, here at 2 o'clock. Other than something like that, I wouldn't expect to see something hugely volatile, but we will see. Now it's working its way back down. Interesting. So anyway, continuing what I was just talking about. Gotcha. Infamous says Trump says he is not planning to quit the China trade deal. Okay, so that was enough to get us a quick spike there. Now we'll see if there's anything sustained about that, or if it just spikes up and then turns around and comes back down. But anyway, so when we rejected over here, we came down, we went into the range. We've basically been trading below the range today. So unless something changes, right, we're going to head into the weekend. Unless something changes, is this news enough to cause a spike? Very possibly, right? It could. Or this could be very temporary, and then price settles back down and then starts to drift lower. Now, do we get down here today? You can't say that, right? Nobody knows for sure. And without that news event right there, were we starting to head down there? Don't know, okay? It won't change, okay? I say this all the time. It won't change what price was going to do eventually. So when you get a news catalyst, an event, things like that, that was an alert I had set taking out the top of this candle right here. So we're almost back up to opening price level. If we're meant to go lower, price will eventually go lower. If we're meant to go higher, price will eventually go higher. News catalysts either accelerate it, or they're just a blip on the radar, and then price reverts back to what it was going to do anyway. So we're back up to opening price level. Let me go back to the 30-minute. I went to the 1 hour to be able to show you better the range that we were in. Okay, so there we are. Okay, we're right here. Now we just have to see, does anything change? Or does it keep trying to go higher? Okay, right now it looks like it's trying to go higher. Now, if it does go higher, right, if it does not reject somewhere in here, we've got this wick, then we have this pivot, okay? Those would be logical resistance areas. And then if it gets above this pivot, it could very easily get up to this resistance level up here at 30.4775, or even higher, okay, if that's what it's meant to do, right? Just keeping an eye on it here. And welcome to everyone who is on the live stream. Again, I apologize. The original link I put out was not working for some reason. And I had to create a new one. So I can see we have several people on here. So obviously the new one is working. So we're just watching to see what price is going to do right in here. Let me kind of expand this so you can see it. Catching a little bit of resistance right here at opening price level. This purple dashed line, that's the opening price level of regular trading hours. That was the first candle. And then all of our action up until right there, except for this spike, has been below, okay, which is fairly bearish, right? Over here are advancers, okay, sort of in a neutral zone right now. Okay, price kind of pulling back a little bit here. So we'll watch and see. We also had on the 30-minute here, the 20 SMA and the 200 SMA coming together, right? That is generally, as the two moving averages come together, there's generally a building of energy. And then at some point, you'll usually see a fairly decent sized move one direction or the other. Can't always anticipate how big that move will be. Okay, but you should be ready for it. Okay, right now price still pulling back. Right now kind of in between the two moving averages, below opening price level. And not even 15 minutes into this candle. Okay, obviously it was the news event that caused the spike, but we don't get excited about it. We just let price action do its thing. Again, if we're meant to go lower, we're going to continue to go lower. If we're meant to go higher, typically something like this is going to accelerate it to the upside. So let me see here. So the high was 30.24. The low of this candle was 3,625. So about an $18 pop, right, to the upside. And now we are at 3,017. Just slowly pulling back. Slowly pulling back. I see a couple more new people joining us, so welcome. If this is your first time, we're glad to have you. Definitely give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications bell. That way you'll be notified anytime we go live or upload any new content. Okay, price still kind of hovering right in here in between these two. Now down to 3,016, so down $8 from the spike. We're just kind of keeping it on here right now to see what happens. Okay. So while we're kind of watching this play out, so then here was what happened in the overnight action again. Okay, you see this range we were in, and then from here, that was about 7:30 in the morning, we started to move down. However, as I talked about in our room, the simpletradinglife.com premium room, we had a lot of whipsaw. So even though this move was to the downside, look at these candles through here. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Makes it very difficult to trade. Right? I do know some folks in our room did make a little bit of money on some scalps today. But this is very difficult action to trade, even though you're moving down, right? So somebody might say, well, heck, from up here, 35 to down here, say 3001, 3002. Okay, so that's a $30-some move down, but it wasn't smooth, right? So at certain times, these are green candles, right? And then they're red, they're big red, and then they're green, and they're going back and forth and back and forth. And that just chops you up. And for a lot of traders, especially novice traders, okay, they're in and out, they're in and out, they're in and out, and all they're doing is just eating up their account. So even though it's a strong move down, what we had there was a lot of whipsaw, especially on these three candles right here. Then again, we sort of went into a range right through here, okay, except for this flush down, but that happened fast, right? I was in at that time, okay? I was in at this time, and this thing happened so fast. I was in an option at the time That thing went to about 137 to 150 in profit. And by the time I was trying to get out, like right then, by the time I could just place my order, it had already went back to 62.50. So I made 62.50. But then I quickly reversed and went long, and this thing spiked up right here, and it quickly went into the profit. And when I exited with 87.50. It had got up over 100, maybe 125, 137.50. But this candle here was very volatile. And that was a quick flush down, back up, and then it settled in. Grayson's wanting to look at forex, and we'll definitely do that. We'll look at forex here in just a second. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to set another alert back up here at opening price level. And then we've already got one a little bit lower. So if price starts to get moving in one direction or the other, we'll get an alert. So let's do this. Let's take a look at some forex. We have a lot of forex traders in our room. Let's look at Aussie US dollar. We'll just go through a few. Okay, so here's the 30-minute price action on Aussie US dollar. As you can see, definitely ranging as well. Could sort of draw a line right across the top there, and then down here, sort of across here. And you could look for breakouts. You could look for price action trades. Okay, so here would have been a beautiful one. See this shooting star here? Let me expand this out. That's a gorgeous shooting star. You enter on the break below here. You figure out what your price target is. Is it this pivot? Is it somewhere down here around the origin of this move up? Okay. So let's just take a look here. That's 6665. Okay, so down to here. 6647. So 65. So that's 18 pips to right there. That's a nice scalp. Okay, 18 pips. And then if you took it, let's say, down to probably somewhere right in here, that's 6628. Okay, ES is climbing again. That was what the alert was. We can look at it here in a second. Okay, 6628 from 665. So 65 minus 30 is 35. 37 pips down to here. Okay. So down into this area. Now you wouldn't have got there. Now that I look at it, because I had it down here, this is as low as it got, which was 34 pips. So again, you might have been looking in here. You could have been looking maybe right under this one, okay? But it didn't get there. It didn't get there. So as price started to reverse, you would have exited, or you would have had a trailing stop. I like to trail stops. Okay, but anyway, that's a beautiful trade there. Let's look at some other forex. How about Euro USD? So if we look at Euro USD here, we see on the 30-minute chart, last few days, it's been steadily climbing. Get a little bit closer here. You see this action. Nice structure on the way up. So let's get in a little closer here for the last couple of days. Again, this is the 30-minute. You see these levels. I have not changed these levels in a long time, and they're still being respected. They're still being respected because I haven't personally traded Forex in just a little while. Back when the market correction was happening, I was almost exclusively trading Forex because it offered better trading opportunities at the time. The premiums and the volatility and the price action, especially in the futures, was just crazy. So I traded Forex. That's the flexibility and the nimbleness you could have as a day trader. Okay, Forex and futures both offer no PDT rule. You can trade as much as you want every day. Forex is really easy because you can trade as little or as big as you want. Now futures does exclude some people because they're typically more expensive, But there are futures only brokers. I'm testing one out right now that they offer what they call day trading pricing. So if you're trading during regular trading hours, they give you significantly reduced rates on contracts. And futures also has some forex. There are forex futures. The euro, the pound, the yen, maybe the Swiss franc. There's about 5 or 6 of them that are on the futures. So you can trade forex on futures with standard lots. And if you trade with certain brokers, you can get discounted rates on those lots. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. All right, so again, looking here at Euro USD, this is the past couple of days, looking to see what we have, if we have any good price action. We had a nice little J hook right here. Okay, and what we mean by a J hook, see how price came down to the 20, and you just draw a J. It's just what it sounds. Okay, bounces off the 20 and heads back up, and it did eventually get right back up here to our level, our resistance level, and then rejected there, back down to the 20, then broke through and flushed down right to our level here at 1.1081. Okay, so a couple of decent price action opportunities there. And let's look at pound dollar, also known as the cable. Kind of see what we have. Grayson says that he notices that with Forex, the levels seem to hold true longer than maybe with equities or possibly even futures. Okay, so all right, here we go. Just kind of going back through these last few days here. Okay, right up here. Come back over here. Right here, we had a pivot, okay, sort of based and then dropped. You see this big drop way down here, way down here. Don't know that somebody's going to catch all of that. When you got down here, it went below and then kind of came back up. Probably a lot of people would have got stopped out right here. So you would have took it on the break of that at 1.2321. And then you probably would have got stopped out to somewhere down in here, 2284. So that's 16 and 31 is 47 pips. That's still a good move. Okay, that's a good trade, 47 pips. All right, let's go through here, kind of see what we have. Looking. Now here you have a hammer. Let me spread this out. Bring it over. Okay, now you wouldn't enter until this gets broken. Okay, so it gets broken here, comes back down. Now it depends on where you place your stop. Okay, for me, I probably would have been right under the body. You get stopped out, but you can always re-enter. All right, so I would have re-entered right here again. Up, back. Let's see, that wouldn't have stopped me out. Up, okay, kind of based, up. So I'm trying to look where I probably would have exited. Might have taken some here, and then when it went green again, tried to go higher. But price action is a little bit choppy. Let me just take a look. 226 up to here. 2280. So that's 20 pips. That's 20 pips. I mean, that's decent. More than decent, right? You get 4 or 5 of those in a day, you've made 80 to 100 pips. Let me look here, see if we see anything else that makes sense. So again, okay, we got to move up. There's a nice shooting star. Now here, okay, this depends on how this candle played out. Did it go up first and then come back through and then come back? All right, but if you entered here, again, I'm keeping my stops tight. So I'm probably going to be stopping right in there. I might get stopped out, but then you can re-enter When you take that out again, and then you would have been able to ride it down here, okay, then when this started to come back against you, maybe you exit right in here somewhere. 2301 from 2340, 39 pips, right? 39 pips. Okay, see price right now climbing back up near the 20. And what we'll do is we'll maybe, let's see, is there anything else we want to look at? How about euro pound? Kind of see what it's doing here. Nice pivot up there. Okay, this sharp pivot, that could be an area of resistance if price gets back up to it. But right now we're making this nice move down, lower low, lower high. There is your shooting star. You enter there. I would probably have a price target down around the bottom of this candle. That is 9014 down to 8994. Yep, 8994. Okay, so that's 6. And what did we say this was up here? Okay, 14, I think is what I said. Yep, 14.6. That'd be 20 pips if it makes it to right here. Okay, I think it's got a really good chance of making it to right there. Somebody who's more aggressive, they might be thinking, hey, we might be getting a change of momentum here, lower low, lower high, and they might be expecting another lower low. And maybe you even look to take profit somewhere in here, 8986, 14, and 14 is 28. So that'd be a 28 pip move just to here. Then if it broke through, looking over here, potential obstacle right there with that wick, which is right here above the 200. So you've got a bunch of options, okay? Right here, 20 pip move. Right here, 28 pip move. Somewhere down in here, 70 would be 30, be a 44 pip move down to here. And then if you took it all the way down to right above the 200, 55 would be 45 plus 14 would be 59. So it'd be 59 pips down to there. So that's how you kind of find your targets and look at price action. All right, let's go back here. Okay, so ES still looks like it's climbing a little bit. Okay, yep, climbed right up here to this wick, which I said could give us a little bit of resistance, and that's exactly what is happening right now. Now, is that going to just be a pause and then you go higher? Okay, this wick right here. Okay, you can see that's where we're getting some resistance. Is that just going to be a pause and we're going to go higher? Or is that going to be a turning point and we start back down? Okay, we don't know yet, right? This candle is just starting, right? Also would not be shocked to see a retest and go. Or, again, if the bears come back in, because obviously the bears have been in control since right over here. And you could even draw your line, like I always say, we're still trending down right now. I'll show you. You go from the highest point to current price. Okay, that's all you got to do. That's the simplest way to know what you're doing. What is the overall trend? Right there. Okay, trending down. So until something changes that, right? Until we get back up sort of above this area right in here, okay, we're still overall trending down. Now, obviously, news events and things like that can change temporarily what's going on, right? So you get some Trump news right here and you get this spike. Okay, but still, overall, until something changes, the overall trend from right here is still down. Okay, so what did I say? Wouldn't be shocked to see it come back and test opening price level. Look at what it's doing right now. All right, now will it be a break, retest, and go? Or will this be something where the bears now step in and say, okay, bulls, you had your fun. We let you get a nice little candle here, about a $20 candle. But now we're going to step back in. We don't know yet. Way too early. Way too early. We still have 28 minutes to go on this candle here. Okay. So let me set another alert just above here, just above this wick, because that's what it's got to get through to keep trying to go higher. And then I will move this one up to just below the 20. So if it gets to there, we'll know that the bears are trying to step back in, because they would have to go through this and this to get to this alert here. Okay, now what I wanted to do next was look at some of the names on our watch list today. And I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to start with Apple down here at the bottom. We're going to go to the daily chart. And we're going to take a look at a few of these. Let me get it over here. Get these alerts off of here. These are old. Okay, so what we had right here was we had a shooting star-like candle. I don't really like this wick, okay, because it does eat up some of your profit potential, but you would have had an entry trigger at 30. Oops, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am not on Apple. I was on ES. Apologize, everybody. There we go. All right, so Apple, nothing. Looks like we might end up with an inside day. So here was your shooting star. We've never taken out either side. Nothing to do. Okay, that's why we like trading price action. It eliminates a lot of bad trades. Okay, APRN. APRN. Okay, nothing. Okay, it's moving. Okay, but again, look at this. Shooting star. We had a lot of shooting stars from yesterday because of the price action. Okay, but nothing. Never took this out. Never took this out. So nothing to do. Crowd. Let's look at crowd. Okay, now crowd, we had a trigger right here, 82.28, and it went as high as 86.10, so almost $4 to the upside on crowd. Our trigger would have been taking this out. Let me see if I can get rid of these just to get them off the screen. That was a former gap is what that was. Okay, so our trigger would have been right here, and from there we had almost a $4 move in our direction. So that would have been a winner. Facebook. We're not going to go through all of these. We'll go through some. Okay, Facebook, nothing really to do there. And you can see the last few days have been very choppy for Facebook. Microsoft. Oh, my Thinkorswim. There we go. Microsoft, nothing, still inside. Okay. So you just move on. If you're playing any of these names or you're watching any of them, if they don't what we call trigger, nothing to do, right? You don't take a bad trade. You don't try to guess. Look at this, inside, inside. We may end up with a lot of inside candles today. Paycom, P-A-Y-C. Inside, look at that. Look how many inside candles that we're ending up with. And again, that's all a function of the price action. Let's look at the Qs. Okay, inside. All right, lots of inside candles. Twitter, we're breezing through these so fast because there's really there hasn't been much to do on a lot of these. Okay, now Twitter, there we got a trigger. That was at 31.32. For me, it would have been getting below this. So let's just say 31.34. And we went as low as 30.29. So what is that? 30.29. So just over $1. Just over $1. And we would have had a nice target. We would have been shooting at the 20 here. Didn't quite get there. But as soon as it starts to reverse against you, that you would just exit. All right, so that one was nice on Twitter. Okay, and as you can see, that's a decent sized candle based on the other candles on the screen. So Twitter did give us some action. Walmart. Let's see what we got here. We did have a trigger at 123.15. Went as low as 122.13, so that was $1 move to the downside. And again, all you want to do is look at the average size of the candles. This is an average size candle, all right? So probably would have paid you a little bit of money there. The next one was Big. Let's see what Big did. Okay, look at Big. So Big was an outside candle, and Big did what we call a single candle power reversal. So it opened up here. Okay, now they had some positive news, right? Earnings. Right down here was their earnings. And they beat. Huge, huge. Right? So most likely spiked up, came back down all the way through the range. Okay, so you could have taken 2 trades here. When it came back down through, excuse me, here's opening price range. When it came back down through, you could have entered, you could have took it all the way through the range. Then when it starts to reverse, you can exit, take your profit there, and then look for it to go back through the range. Okay, that's aggressive, but that's what price action traders are looking for. So you went outside, this candle was outside this one, and we get the rare outside 2 days in a row on the daily. Okay, so we are definitely expanding the range here. And what do I mean? This one went outside of this one. Okay, and now we already know, okay, where it went. Okay, or you could do it like this. Let me show you. You could draw, let me activate this. You could draw it right off of there, like that. And then like this, and you're starting to expand the range, right? But it is rare for you to go outside 2 days in a row, but that's just showing you what kind of volatility there was in Big today. I'm going to go ahead and leave those on there. Cake, let's look at Cake. All right, Cake, we were outside, we gapped down, we went a little bit lower. Okay, you could have took it to the downside, 21.17, and it went as low as 20.75. So not quite 45-cent move, nothing to write home about. Okay, Cake not giving us much today. Let's look at Baba. Baba, not much. Beyond. Beyond, not much. We are getting through this list pretty quick. We'll just keep going for now. Intel. Intel's funny. I've seen both negative and positive news on it recently, and it just really, look at how choppy it's been. Okay, inside, not doing anything. Not doing anything, no trigger. And that's not uncommon. Look at all this chop on Intel. All right, JD. All right, JD just barely taking the top out. It's still actually trying to go up. So the trigger was at 52.50, and it's only been as high as 52.88, but still moving that direction. So that's only 38 cents. Again, that's nothing. Nothing that would make you a whole lot of money. PSTI. PSTI. This is one that several people in our room, that's simpletradinglife.com, like to trade, but not much today. Okay, over here was when it was given some money, right? Because these are more normal, but look at all this volatility through here. That was creating some paydays. Just a few more. Stitch Fix SF IX. Not a whole lot. It would have triggered right there, but I don't know if that's a trade I would have been thrilled about with a support level right below it. Okay, now coming Monday, okay, if you open up maybe below here or right in here and start to go down, I would be a little bit more excited about that. SNBR, we only have two more. SNBR, this is sleep number. See if we have anything. Opened and went lower, okay. So we would have triggered at 31.64 down to 30.43. So a dollar and 23 cent move. You probably could have got $1 of that. And if you look at these candles, okay, probably would have made some money on that move, and then it reversed and it's come back up. It's forming a doji right now. And the last one that was on our list was Tesla. Get the right symbol. And nothing. Okay, so Tesla might do an inside. Okay, this was inside of this. This is inside of this. Let me just double check to make sure. Yep. Okay, so unless something changes in the next hour and 15 minutes, Tesla may go inside. Interesting. Okay, so that's all of our watch list. Now let's go back. Go back to the 30-minute on ES. I'm not going to keep everybody on here long today. I had to skip Tuesday. I think I might have had to skip Friday as well. I have not been feeling well lately. Feeling a little bit better here recently. Oh, our trigger went off and I never heard the ding. Okay, so we did get down below here. So let's get in a little bit closer. Okay, see that? Remember I had the alert set right below the 20 and it definitely triggered it because the alert isn't there anymore. So right now, if it can break and hold here, bears are looking to try to take it back to the downside. Okay, I'm just checking my messages there. I heard my phone ding. Let me go back and squeeze it out. Now, we do it like this. Okay, so it gives you a more wide scale view here. Where we come from, where we came from, where we're at. Okay, again, this was just yesterday. Yesterday at 1:30. So from there, we came all the way down here, right? Then we came back and we were chopping, we were starting to push lower, and then we get the news from Trump. So it pushes back up here. Now bears trying to step back in. Okay, they've been in control, right? How do we know that? Well, again, because we just drew the line. So if they come in and take control back, does it make sense? Absolutely. Okay, now how are we going to end? It's a Friday. Who knows, right? Do we ramp into close? Do bears come in and say, hey, you had your fun, now we're going to flush it? Again, if any kind of flush occurs, okay, and I'm not saying one will, but I'm saying if one does, okay, this would be the target. Okay, the bottom right here, this line that's kind of slanting down, because that's the expanding range. See this? Here and here. That's your expanding range. So any kind of flush or any kind of real big ramp, okay? The only reason I lean more towards a flush is because we've been trending down and we're moving our way back through the range. So what do we mean about moving back through the range, right? Well, here was a day where we came down, came all the way back up. So we went range to range to range, all the way through, all the way through. Okay. Here, that's all the way through the range. Here, that's all the way through the range. That's what we mean when we say through the range. Okay, until it breaks out and holds in one direction or the other, we're in an expanding range. Okay, they're very prevalent. You can find them in a lot of places. And all it does is it really helps you gauge magnitude and it gives you an idea. Okay, so the other day when we were up here, okay, I was telling the folks in my room, be careful, right? Don't get trapped to the long side. Okay, not saying you can't go long. You absolutely can, right? Because at some point this range will break. But until it breaks, you got to be careful. And at that point, we're still fairly early in the range, right? It just started back in here. So I warned them, be careful. Said we very well could come back through the range. But I always tell them, who knows if it's going to happen that day, right? It may take days to go through a range. Depending on where you're at and how big the expanding range is, it could take a week or more, right? Or what time frame you're on. Okay, but this particular day, not only did they not go long, I warned everybody, just be careful, don't get trapped long. Okay, we came all the way down through and then we blasted all the way back up through. Now this technically went into the next trading day, right? Okay, the reversal happened here at 11 o'clock and we got all the way back up here at 8 o'clock. Okay, so all the way back up through the range. Then we came down, then we came up again, then we came down, we ranged, we ranged, we ranged, we went back up. I gave the same warning right here. I gave the same warning that I'd given back a couple of days prior. So just be careful here. Okay, just because it pokes its head out doesn't mean that it's getting out of the range. Again, these lines, there's nothing magical about them. There's nothing concrete. They're a visual representation. That's all they are. Okay, so sometimes you'll just come right up to it like this. Other times you poke slightly above it. All right. So anyway, I gave the same warning, and what happened? Boom, we flushed again. Okay, then we ranged, we ranged, we ranged. Here we came down, we came over, spiked down, we get the Trump news, and oh, look what's happening. Bears are trying to take control. Bears are trying to take control. Amazing, right? Amazing how we talk about like what is likely to happen, what could happen. Now, if it breaks through here, look out, okay? Now, it may catch some support in here, but if it breaks through this area here, again, there could be, it's a Friday, anything can happen on a Friday. Okay, right now it's catching a little bit of support. But this is what you want to keep your eyes on, folks, right through here. If it can break through there, hey, MOR 13, nice to have you. Okay, from Russia, a long way away. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications bell if you haven't already. Okay, but here's what we're watching here. And why is this important? Because look how many times it's been right through here. So that's why I'm saying if it gets below here, it starts to really get some momentum, look out. I mean, this is still an obstacle, this wick. Okay, but this thing could flush down here. Not saying it will. I'm just saying I told you ahead of time. The possibility was there, right? because whatever direction price was supposed to go, it's going to go that direction. Okay, so we're just watching it. Okay, so it's trying to get below here. You see how right now that's where the struggle is. So where my cursor is now, if it can get below there and hold, okay, then its next obstacle is this wick. Okay, so right now, right here's where the struggle is. MOR, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, making another attempt. We'll watch this for just a minute or two before I get off of here. I only planned on staying on about 45 minutes today, but we'll hang out for just a few more minutes. Thank you everyone who's here. Getting to see some really cool stuff play out right before our eyes. And they're trying, aren't they, the Bears? And I'm not for or against either direction, right? We trade at both because we trade primarily price action. All I was telling you is what I saw and what can happen based on what we know from historical reference. Okay, so now it's trying to get below that crucial level I was telling you about. So the next thing is this wick. That's the next thing. All right, where are we at? We're at 3,000. I remember in my mind 3,000 is a key level. All right, everyone. I'm going to let you guys go so you guys can watch this play out. But remember, okay, if it can break and hold below here and get below here, there's a potential that it can flush all the way down to this expanding range. It could catch support anywhere in here. That is entirely possible as well. So just keep those things in mind. Again, please give us a thumbs up, like the channel, turn on the notifications bell. We'll be back Tuesday at 2 p.m. and we'll do it all over again. Everybody have a great weekend. Bye-bye.